All right, good evening, you all, and welcome to another podcast of And Another Thing. So, I'd like to talk about police brutality tonight, not solely about Ferguson and Michael Brown. That, I think, is just the powder keg that's setting off what has been fomenting for a long time. This is just the straw that broke the perennial camel's back, if you will. Um, I mean, there's been a trend. So I just saw this graph online the other day, and so I've seen two graphs, and they correlate directly. One was how many police officers are killed in the line of duty, and it drastically has gone down since the 20s, and way down since the 20s. But more recently, it went way, half of that since the 70s. So way, 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 way down. We're at an all-time low on that. And then there was a crime graph, and that directly correlated. So we're at an all-time low in the last 40 years of crime. Yet our police are looking like jackbooted Nazi thugs. They're carrying military-grade weaponry. They show up looking like a SWAT team or a riot police member just for a routine stop, or to man a peaceful protest. And now they're being given these vehicles, surplus military vehicles from the military. So what does that tell us? The military had a contract with some company, bought way too many vehicles at our expense, the taxpayer. So we paid millions and millions of dollars for all these stupid vehicles. Now, in turn, they're going to use them to further oppress us as a populace and to further, squash the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. Since the, I don't know if you're aware about the NDAA and all these, things that Obama has passed, but there's just been a steady decline of our civil liberties. The Constitution is on its way out. So this is just further testimony of that. The rule of law is slipping, and we're heading into a militaristic state. So with the passage of the NDAA, Obama stated that, which is an executive order, nobody had to sign off on this. He states that any American can be taken into custody, held indefinitely, and even executed without charges. Without charges and without trial. So no habeas corpus, no Bill of Rights, no Constitution. If you speak out, like I am right now, against our, oppressive fascist regime, you could be swooped up and sent away to Guantanamo Bay, never to be heard from again. Yeah. So that's kind of scary. So here I'm looking at an article from Huffington Post Politics, and and what's really scary about this? Excuse me, one second, my throat's a little dry. What's really scary about this is when we all saw the Rodney King beating in 1992. I'll just speak for myself. When I saw that video, I was so mortified that a human being could do that to another human being. Mortified. Let alone the people that we hold in the highest regard to protect us from such a collapse of society as we're witnessing them commit. Atrocious, right? But I figured it was my duty to watch that, to be informed, and to be upset, to be pissed off. But nothing changed. That's the scary part. I would have thought everything would have changed. Oh my God, we'll never stand for this. It's not going to happen again. And then here I am looking in their article. So 20 years later, police beating or shooting has a decent chance of getting caught on camera. Yeah. There's Kelly Thomas, a schizophrenic man being beaten to death by authorities in Fullerton, California, after being mistaken for a suspect in a series of car break-ins in the area. Yeah. and those police were acquitted. So once again, accused of car break-ins, and he was killed. So crime is the punishment is far exceeding the crime here. All right, car break-ins. You know what? You don't shoot him. You don't shoot him. If he runs away and he gets away, oh well, darn it. You know, get him with your taser, get him with your billy club if you can, throw the billy club if you can, knock him down, chase him, whatever you can do, put out an APB, but you don't shoot him. You don't shoot him. You put the whole public in danger when you do that, and you kill a man for a petty crime. Okay? Then the next one they mention is Oscar Grant. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was the kid that was, we didn't see what he did before the camera started rolling. But what we did see, this happened in Oakland this was a BART policeman in Oakland that killed Oscar Grant. They had him, 3 officers had him down on the ground, face down on the platform, and then they shot him in the back and killed him. Shot him in the heart through the back. And it was filmed by people on BART who were mortified at the murder of Oscar Grant. But first of all, why are traffic cops BART police? They're just the train police. What the hell are they even carrying guns for? All they need is a radio. Hey, excuse me, can you send the police? We're on car 43 approaching this stop, and so didn't pay his fare. I mean, well, what's the biggest thing that's going to happen on a train? Granted, they might have to stop somebody from, molesting, accosting somebody or something like that, maybe a petty theft, pickpocketing, but they shouldn't have frickin' guns. Are you kidding me? They should have pepper spray and a billy club at most, and the almighty tool, the radio. Hello? You call for backup. I really like the way they do it in the UK, and I don't know why we can't adopt more of a method like that. You just have a SWAT team that's armed like our jackbooted thugs are. And when something goes down, you call them. But until then, the bobbies arrive with their little billy clubs. And, hey, how you doing there? Can we take care of business? Okay, yeah, sure, you betcha. Okay, now time for paint. They're good. Okay. But, our police are at war with us. So Oscar Grant at the Fruitvale Station in BART, murdered. Then in June, Edgar Vargas Arzate was running from the police in Santa Ana, California, near where Thomas was beaten before surrendering in the front yard of a neighbor's home. He was lying unarmed and face down on the grass, but officers still savagely beat him, and when he was taken into custody, he was charged with assaulting an officer. All right, this is a good one, the whole assaulting an officer charge. I have a friend, he's 130 pounds, all right? Big thug, right? He went in, he had an altercation with the doorman of a club, doorman being a power-tripping punk. My friend, was with the band, was backstage, he didn't have a stamp, he didn't sneak in, he's like, mid to late 30s, whatever, chill guy, 130 pounds, not violent, not assaultive at all. He's a frickin' children's librarian, for Christ's sake. After not letting him in the club, just 2 sentences exchanged, hey man, my jacket's in there, my phone's in there, I gotta go in there. The doorman wouldn't even have it, didn't offer to go get his stuff, just called a cop over. The cop instantly tackled him, put his arm behind his back, drove him down to the curb face first, broke his arm, gave him a black eye, scuffed up his eye. 2 other police officers jump down, start restraining him and cutting off his air supply. He's struggling to breathe, and he said he accidentally kicked one of the officers just in a struggle to breathe. And you know what the police report said? That he instigated a fight with 3 officers and went for one of their guns. They said he went for their frickin' gun. Can you believe that? So then they put him in jail with a broken arm for a week. Did not treat his broken arm for a week. and he's tempted with assault on a police officer and attempted murder of a police officer because of going for the fucking gun. He never went for the gun. He never did anything except for squirming. 130-pound guy that can't breathe, squirming for his life, and heaven forbid, he accidentally kicked one of them. And then that turned into, beating an officer and going for a gun. Like, whoa, are you kidding me? So, and then we've got in July, Staten Island, Eric Garner. I know you've all seen that, the peaceful giant, Eric Garner. He was selling illegal, untaxed cigarettes. Okay, once again, what's the penalty for that? It's probably a $300 ticket or something, right? $300 ticket. $500 ticket? That seems excessive, right? Doesn't it? $500 for selling cigarettes? It's probably less than $300, I would think. Totally hypothesizing on this. However, I know it's not worth giving your life. So they put him in a chokehold. I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And by the time they let him go, guess what? He's dead. Really? Really? For a pack of cigarettes? Really? So, I don't know, this is just crazy. And then that's not the last one. So then in August, less than 2 weeks after the death of Michael Brown, police in St. Louis area shot another man. Officers responded to a 911 call regarding to an alleged robbery at a convenience store. When they arrived, footage showed Kahim Powell pacing, and he yells, "Shoot me now." Officers said he had a knife. Within 15 seconds of arriving on the scene, the two officers opened fire, killing Powell. Yeah. So, whatever happened to, shooting a guy in the leg? You can't stand up if you got shot in the leg. A leg's a big target. I understand if you shoot in the leg once and you miss and the guy's charging you, self-preservation by all means. Okay, let me just rewind here. I am not a cop hater. Without police, our society would crumble. Police are much needed, and I hold honest and honest good cops in the highest regard. Are you kidding me? That is the worst, most thankful job, and they're stepping up and doing it. So that's awesome. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't want to do it. But thank God they're there. So with that said, a bad apple ruins the bunch. The phrase didn't come from nowhere, and it's true in all walks of life. And I think especially the more power that somebody has, the worse the repercussions can be. So there was just, and there was another article here in the Huffington Post, talking about this is bigger than the Michael Brown issue. And what it's saying here is in the last month, in the United States, five unarmed black men have been murdered by police, killed by police. And then it goes through to point out a list of the things that are really concerning about this. So the fact that Michael Brown was 18 years old, it's very disconcerting. He was a child. Excuse me, I need a drink of water here again. The number of shots fired, the fact that he was shot 6 times, that's a little disconcerting too. Once again, where's the taser? Don't they have like a sophisticated net gun by now where you could just, boom, like you're capturing a freaking lion or something? Don't they have one of those? Where you can just, like a beanbag gun that turns into a net and right? Come on. If I'm thinking about it, some genius has to have created it already, right? Come on. So then, the unknown number of people killed in police-involved shootings, and they're saying, five this month in California, and this is kind of disturbing. The percentage of American law enforcement agencies that report any police-involved shootings to the FBI database, 4%. Wow. I just said that. Nationwide, 5 unarmed black men killed in the last month. So, I mean, these are really staggering statistics. You know, the percentage of Americans who believe that police officers generally aren't held accountable for misconduct, 50%. So we're not on the fringe here. I mean, this is a conversation that needs to happen. Percentage of young black men who said they had been treated unfairly in dealings with police in the last 30 days, 24%. Number of black officers on the Ferguson police force, three. Three. The community's 80% black, three black officers. That sounds a bit weird. Percentage of traffic stops in Ferguson that targeted African Americans in 2013, 86%. The percentage of total 2013 arrests in Ferguson that involved African Americans, 92.7. The percentage of Ferguson's general budget that was paid for by revenue from fines and court fees in the 2012 fiscal year, 19% of the budget. Wow. So fines and court fees account for 19% of the entire physical budget. That seems out of whack. The budget for St. Louis County Police Department for 2014, $99 million. What? What? Are you kidding me? What? The number doesn't include the value of the Pentagon's 1033 grants. Have you heard about the 1033 program? So this is the program that is giving surplus military equipment to police forces. Not only vehicles, mine-proof tanks, but now they're getting guns. Military guns, AR-15s and stuff. What's up with that? Which since 1997, in 2013, the program sent $449 million of military equipment to local law enforcement agencies in St. Louis. It received 12 obtained from the New York Times. You can find out exactly what your local authorities got from the Pentagon right here. Oh, wow. So I'll include a link to that article so you can see what your local authorities got from the Pentagon. I mean, this is amazing. Why do they need these type of things when crime is at a 40-year low? 40-year low, people. Are they planning for something we don't know about? Have you also heard about the Department of Homeland Security purchasing 1 billion bullets? 1 billion with a B? That's more than the military purchased in a year. Something more than was fired in all of Vietnam or something ridiculous like that. I forget. But anyway, number of black men nationwide who can expect to go to prison at some point in their lifetime, 1 in 3. Where St. Louis County ranks in the list of most black-white segregated places, 15th. Wow, so it's hot. The percentage of black Americans who own homes, this is nationwide, I guess, 43.8% compared to white Americans, 73.3%. Isn't that more than 100%? Anyway, the number of black and white officials on the Ferguson City Council and number of school funding distribution systems, 34th. I mean, these are crazy numbers. The number of days that have passed since Brown's killing, while key questions remain unanswered, 13, and that's only at this publishing. So, the main point that they're trying to bring across here is that this is, uh, this is a way big. They're quite frankly hard to watch, and they're all since Rodney King. It's staggering. So I don't know what the answer is, but I know calling our city council members, our congressmen, our senators, that's imperative. Ask them if they're for the militarization of their county and their region, their district, even though crime is at a 40% low. And then, demand answers. Why? What are you afraid of? What is the plan that all these things are going to be used for? I mean, we're not just talking about a few key cities that have been a problem region or something. I mean, it's not just happening in Detroit or something, right? Like, they're not just shutting down Detroit from the rest of the country. It's happening everywhere. They're arming the police simultaneously in all cities. For what? What is coming? What is coming? It's not looking good, people, I'm telling you. So, anyway, please chime in. Love to hear what you think on this. And, I'd want people from all over the country to share videos. It's up to us, people. We have to share these cell phone videos, So recently, since I talked about the one shooting that there's been since Michael Brown and Ferguson, but there was one just August 17th in Antioch, California. Not a shooting, mind you, okay, but a brutality case. So this, once again, it's a psychologically impaired, whatever. It's somebody that's having psychological issues, which is a whole nother topic for a podcast, right? In the 80s, Reagan, under Proposition 13, basically opened the doors of the mental institutions and kicked everybody out onto the streets. That's why these people are, that's what created this problem. San Francisco's homeless population went from 1% to 7% overnight. Anyway, so you've got this man who's having some psychological issues, gets into a confrontation with the police, doesn't go well. Backup comes, 4 police officers, taser him, get him to the ground, handcuff him, 2 more cop cars, so 8 officers total. And this is what we see over and over and over again. The 2 officers were fine. Why do we need 8 cops to beat this guy down? So they beat him down, taser him, beat him while he's being tasered, while he's down, then while he's handcuffed on the ground, they unleash the police dog on him, which attacks his face and rips his face open. This is caught from multiple people who are just mortified by what they're seeing. It's at a gas station, and they're all filming it on their cell phones, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing." Telling them to stop and let the man go. Then the police come and seize everybody's cell phones and confiscate some and force others to erase the video, which is totally against the law and against the Constitution. Well, if we still had a Constitution. So the only reason that anybody even knows about this is from this one woman's cell phone that didn't get confiscated or erased. Unbelievable. I mean, unleashing a dog. I don't care if the guy was Jeffrey Dahmer. He doesn't deserve a dog to rip his face apart. I mean, if we lose the rule of law to that extent, then what's next? I mean, if the government can't hold itself to a higher level of behavior, a higher standard of behavior than the criminals it's trying to prosecute, then we've lost any hope for morality, haven't we? Anyway, your comments are most welcome. Have a great night.